Hi, this is Wasabi. Hope you're doing well. Today we are at the finale of this Reddit series. It's been going on over the past week, but I think we're now finally at the end. I know there's been a lot of hopium, people huffing, thinking that this blackout's gonna actually work. The cracks are forming and all this other shit. But as a lot of people already said, and as it's been brought to my attention, Reddit's just gonna take over all the subreddits that's been closed down and force them to come back. Well, that's what's being now thrown around as an idea and probably something that they're going to do. So yesterday a post was made in the moderator subreddit, pretty much a way to keep moderators in the loop of what's going on. And so this post was made. It said, "Thanks for bringing this up. It's an important conversation. Mods have a right to take a break from moderating or decide they don't want to be a mod anymore. But active communities are relied upon by thousands or even millions of users, and we have a duty to keep this space alive. Subreddits belong to the community of users who come to them for support and conversation. Moderators are stewards of these spaces in a position of trust. Redditors rely on the spaces for information, support, entertainment, and connection." Oh, they forgot one part. The fact that you do it for free as well. But that's just me saying that. Anywho, they continue on by saying, "We regularly enforce our subreddit and moderator level rules. As you point out, that means that we have policies and processes in place that address inactive moderation, mods vandalizing communities, and subreddit squatters. When rules like these are broken, we remove the mods in violation of the moderator code of conduct and add new active moderators to the sub. We also step in to rearrange mod teams so active mods are empowered to make decisions for their community. The moderator code of conduct was launched in September 2022, and you'll notice via posts and comment history that this account has been used extensively to source new mod teams. Leave a community you deeply care for and have nurtured for years is a hard choice, but it is a choice some may need to take if they are no longer interested in moderating that community. If a moderator team unanimously decides to stop moderating, we will invite new active moderators to keep these spaces open and accessible to users. If there is no consensus, but at least one mod who wants to keep the community going, we will respect their decision and remove those who no longer want to moderate from the mod team." So pretty much this is their gotcha moment. They're like, "Hey, who wants to mod, guys? Oh, these clowns don't want to do it. All right, we'll get rid of them and we'll open up the subreddit." Now, I will say this. A lot of people saw this coming already. Personally, I didn't really think that was a thing that could happen, at least not early on. But I guess I'm kind of a fool for not really thinking that Reddit could just take over their subreddits and install new CEOs. It was brought to my attention that this is something that they have done in the past with other subs. So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. But it is still something that I wasn't really thinking right off the bat. But not surprised that they're going to do it now, because to them, business is business and money is money. And at this point, why would they let users just shut down their website? For what reason? If they can just take over and put new people in, why wouldn't they? I mean, that's logically speaking, right? So it kind of makes the whole point of this blackout kind of null and point, I guess, at the end of the day. I mean, it sends a message in the sense of bringing awareness and making people aware. But at the same time, people don't have nowhere else to flock to. Where else are they going to go to? There's no other Reddit alternative yet, so people aren't going to go there yet. It's the same reason why people hate Twitter, but they don't leave Twitter, because they don't have nowhere else to go. Yeah, you got Mastodon, but it's not like widely accepted to the point where everybody uses it, and there's not ease of access for people to use it. So people don't go over to there either. And one of the biggest reasons why this blackout didn't work, besides the fact that not every subreddit stayed black, was the fact that not enough people gave a shit. That's really what it boils down to. I read the comments. I saw the comments on this video. I read the hopium, the copium, the cracks are starting to form, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I respect your opinion. I truly do, but you're huffing copium. I know one comment mentioned it, that, you know, this warrants Reddit for the next time this is about to happen. It's not going to happen again. You just showed Reddit what could happen, and it's like, all right, y'all did this. All right, we're just going to make sure this doesn't happen again in the future. That's literally all that's going to happen. There isn't going to be some second wave of protests in the future if Reddit makes some more terrible decisions. The only way Reddit shuts down is if the users leave, and that's not happening. Again, not until there's an alternative. But yeah, it failed because nobody gave a shit. People are back posting on Reddit like nothing changed. Subreddits are coming back, and everyone's singing Kumbaya again. And the CEO of Reddit was correct this entire time in saying that, yeah, y'all be back, because everyone pretty much did come back. And if you didn't come back, he's just going to force your subreddit to come back and kick you out if you're a mod, and install some new mods instead. So there's that as well. Now, if this was all there was to talk about it, I wouldn't be making this video, but there is a little bit more that I want to talk about, because yesterday the CEO of Reddit did an interview as well. And I mean, it goes just about as you would expect. It's not really that great. It's just kind of doubling down on his own takes and trying to find reasons to explain why certain things have gone on for so long. So yesterday, The Verge posted the interview that they had with the CEO of Reddit, and you can already tell off the hopium of this title, Reddit was never designed to support third-party apps, and that's what the CEO said. That's a lot of ways of trying to create a new narrative. That's how I see it personally. But let's read through this, and then you decide at the end. So we start off heavy with this paragraph. Thousands of Reddit communities are still dark in their protests of the API changes that are forcing some third-party developers to shut down their apps. It's a startling change for many members of the Reddit community, but it's one that the Reddit CEO Steve Huffman tells The Verge that he's fine with making. Those third-party apps, in his eyes, aren't adding much value to the platform. That is such a wild take to me. That's so fucking wild. For something that you personally don't, and this is actually in general for anything in life, right? A lot of people like to say for things that they don't personally use or actually never want to use, they like to say, this is useless, this is worthless, this brings no value. There's no value to be seen out of this, all because they personally don't use it. That's cool that you don't use it, but to say that it doesn't add value that's straight lie. That's lies. This fucking subreddit for a Polo app almost has 1 million fucking users in there, and the fact that app is highly praised all the time, and Apple even themselves fucking showed it in one of their keynotes. So obviously there is some value to be seen from at least that app alone. To say that there's no value in it is a fucking wild take. Now of course he's probably saying it from a business perspective, on the sense of, hey, we're not making money off these fuckers, they're only making money off us, which is what he's going to say later in the paragraph anyway. But I get that point, but it's a very poorly worded message in my opinion. But at the same time, he doesn't give a shit, so it doesn't matter either. Continuing on, he says that the other 98% of people who use the API are to make tools, bots, enhancements for Reddit. That's what the API is for. Huffman says it was never designed to support third-party apps. According to Huffman, he let it exist, and I should take blame for that because I was the guy arguing for that for a long time. Huffman now takes issue with the third-party apps that are building a business on top of his own. I didn't know, and this is my fault. The extent that they were profiting off our API, that these were not charities. Dog, you make this act like it's hard. Just fucking charge for API access, but don't charge $1 million. Like, how hard is that? You can still charge people to use your API, but you don't have to sit there and make it to the point where they gotta pay you $20 million per year. Like, this is such a fucking a nothing burger of a statement. That's literally all that is. It makes no sense. You were acting like you have no ability to just charge the developers to operate using your API, but at least be sensible and be smart about how much you charge them. No one says that you can't do that. It's just charge a reasonable amount of money. What's so hard about understanding that? But I'm pretty sure he does understand it, and he just doesn't care. It hurts so much reading that, man. The Verge asked him if he felt that Apollo, Reddit's fun sync, pretty much all third-party apps shutting down, if they added any value to Reddit. And he said, nope, not as much as they take. He says, no way. He said, they need to pay for this. That is fair. What our peers have done is ban them entirely. And when we said no, you know what? We believe in free markets. You need to cover your costs. They also asked Huffman if he truly believes that the blackouts haven't impacted his decision making around the API pricing changes at all. And he said, in this case, that's true. He said, that's our business decision, and we're not undoing that business decision, as you saw earlier from the subreddit comment that talked about how they're probably just going to open back subreddits as long as there's one moderator who wants to participate. And even if there isn't, they'll just sit there and get rid of them because they're not following the mod code of conduct. So, yeah, I mean, this is pretty expected all in all. That interview pretty much just shows you that Huffman doesn't give a fuck. He hasn't given a fuck. And at the end of the day, if you fuck with his money, he's just going to get rid of you and replace you with someone who will help him keep making money. But at the end of the day, what do we expect him to say? Oh, yeah, the third-party apps are so great, but we needed to shut them down. They added so much value to our platform, but we unfortunately had to shut them. No, he's going to double down and say all the worst shit imaginable. There's no way he's ever going to backtrack on his shit. It will just make him look like a fool. So, yeah, this is about it for the Reddit saga trilogy, wherever we're at, quadruple trilogy. I don't foresee anything else major happening following this video, so this is probably where we're going to end it. But yeah, thanks for following along on this series. Sucks that the Reddit blackout won't do anything. I'm going to lose my favorite third-party app that I've been using for years. That's been a blast to use for years. But, yeah, sucks. Bye.